everybody, this is Phil Kerner, the Tool and Die Guy, and this is part 2 of the Art of Mechanical Drafting. As I mentioned in the first part, I did say sometimes I might forget something or sometimes I might repeat myself, so forgive me now for doing probably one of each. But I thought it would be better today. I found a few more things that I didn't show you yesterday to complete the collection. So today's lesson is going to be on finishing off the tools that are needed here, and also a few things I forgot yesterday, or found, I should say. And finally, the second part is the standard sizes of sheets of paper that we use in mechanical drafting. So let's get started. So I needed a long pointer so my big old head wouldn't get in front of the lens here. So I found this. This is a great pointer. If you live in Erie, Pennsylvania, you have these things called plow guides that you put around your driveway so the plow guides don't run into your grass, okay? So they're down now, and we can use this. So we start here with the pencil leads. We went through that yesterday with different pencils and the pencil sharpener, which is also, I've been reminded, can be called a lead pointer. Then we have the scale that we talked about yesterday. Now, here's one thing I did miss yesterday, and this is a lettering template. And it's hard to see, but it's a guide for lettering. Very slow process. I'll show you a couple times when I'll use it, usually in my title block. Then, of course, a couple of ellipse templates that you saw this one yesterday, I believe. I'm not sure if you saw this one. This template back here is for the mold industry. There's a part of a mold that's called a support pillar, and this is a quick time saver for that. There's a template for almost everything, as you will find out. This is a template for drawing hex head bolts. This is a template for drawing socket head cap screws and flat head cap screws, usually used in the tool making industry and in the mold making industry. Tool and die guys use these a lot. Yesterday I just showed you this large circle template, but I did find my small one. It wasn't at work. I have another one at work. I have a lot of templates. This one goes down to a 1/16 diameter, and that's about as small as I think you can get, because after that you can't get your pencil inside the hole. Didn't show you this one yesterday, I don't believe. This one is called this dark green one is called a fillet template. And fillets are for putting radii or a radius at the intersection of vertical lines. Whether it's an internal fillet or an external radius, you can switch in between both the fillet template and the circle template. Sometimes this is a little quicker. Yesterday you saw the tape, and then one thing I did miss was the erasing shield. You'll need one of these. It's a very thin piece of metal with different shapes cut out that lets you erase very close to your work in case you overextend a line by a little bit, and it's very hard. You see an eraser, they're not very accurate. This will cover your work so you can erase right up to your work and keep the original work safe. It's just it's a cover. It's like almost what you would use when you're painting something to not paint. You're painting a wall and you don't want to hit the trim. You saw the eraser, the two protractors. I believe I showed you this one yesterday, but I had this one also. Of course, the triangles. Also, we have the compasses from yesterday's first lesson, and then I added a nail file. And a nail file is just a simple way to sharpen your compass point. And I will show you how to do that. You can use a regular file, a nail file, a piece of sandpaper on a board. One thing I did not show you, and people were giving me a hard time about this, where's your electric eraser? Well, back in the day, electric erasers were massive, and now I have the small one. Well, it's a miracle. I not only found it, I found the refills for it. So this has a little, if I may reach across here, let's go from the other side. And basically, the way this works, it's got two AA batteries in it. It's got a little electric, eraser, 1/8" diameter in the tip, and you press it and it spins. This is for fixing very large mistakes, folks, but gotta have one. For everybody who said I didn't have one, you were wrong. Only kidding, kind of. And then finally, we saw the brushes. I think I already said the triangles, the scale. This is one thing, this is a ancient piece, but this was given to me by a designer back in the 70s. This is probably they could call it a beam trammel, but it's a large compass. And it works just like these small compasses, but you can draw some really big circles with this thing, okay? And it also, of course, comes with another beam, And I'm sorry, after 40 years I lost the thing that attaches these, but I am a tool and die guy also, so I will make one in case I ever have to draw. This looks like about 24 inches. So in case I ever have to draw a 4-foot diameter circle, I'm covered. For all of those people out there that would like to have me draw a 4-foot circle, just email me. So that kind of covers it using my official tool and die guy pointer here, which is very apropos for Erie, Pennsylvania, that I'm using a plow guide. I think that's actually kind of funny. That's that. So let's pause the video, and the next thing, very quickly, I'll go through the sizes of paper that are standard in the mechanical engineering practice. So continue on with paper sizes that are standard for United States engineering. Now, of course, engineers have to specify everything, including their paper sizes, all right? So one of the things we're going to be working with is this book from my lessons. And as you can see, these are just standard 8.5 by 11 sheets, which is totally fine. It is called a size A, ANSI size A. It's 8.5 by 11. Now, I prefer to do my drawings the other way. Would this be what we call a landscape? Turn the 90 degrees the other way. Let's just do it. With the title block down here, I think it's neater, but for whatever reason, they did it like this back in those days. Maybe because it would go better in the notebook. Not quite sure, okay? I hope you notice another thing. Now, since I've taken all the stuff away from the first part of the lesson, this is my corner now. I've put everything in I think I'll need a lot. A scale, my other scale, maybe a protractor, erasers, brush, erasing shield, and my tape, pencil, sharpener. That's what I think I'm going to need for the most. And you can't see it, but over here on the right, I've got a little hook here, and I hooked the rest of my templates to. The rest of it's in a little tray off to my side on a table. So that's the first size. Now, interesting to say, if we go through this book and go to some of my later drawings, where they let us have bigger paper, the next size on the list is supposed to be 11 by 17. Well, for whatever reason, this is not 11 by 17, and I was in a design class. It's actually 11 by 18. So, you know, I think some of these sizes are a little interesting, but that's the way it goes. And this next size up, which was supposed to be 17 by 22, is this drawing, this very old drawing here. That's in one of the packages on the toolandieguy.com where I sell the drawing packages. This is actually 18 by 24. So I'm not sure if anybody was sticking to this stuff, but you should just know the standards. So that, let's see, so size A was 8.5 by 11, size B 11 by 17, size C 17 by 22, which would be very square looking, size D 22 by 34, and size E 34 by 44. So interesting. Back then, it was whatever you could get your tracing paper or your tracing vellum, whatever size the roll came in, probably what you were limited to, and people weren't going to trim them down an extra inch for no reason. So back to this, and what I want to show you, and I'm going to scan this in, and I'll give you a quick heads up on this, your first lesson, which I'll start to draw today or tomorrow, and draw with you. And I've decided painstakingly that I'll probably do what you're going to have to do, and that's use my triangles to do it. And that comes from the book. You're going to get a PDF, a copy of the book that teaches you these two drawings. And without me telling you how to space these, it won't look like this. So what I'm going to do is scan the book in, and what you're trying to learn now is to use your horizontal and vertical lines and to stop them at the right points so they're not all sticking out or not trimmed. Let's see if I can zoom in on this a little bit. That's a little better. So you've got this horizontal lines and vertical lines, and we don't want them to extend past. This is how you learn how to draw, folks. And then the second exercise is these are these angled lines. It looks like a brick pattern, and how to stop and start your lines. And this is an exercise. This is you're learning an art here, and I've made that very clear. And this is how you learn the art, usually through practice and repetition. So this is one of those times where if you really want to learn this, you're going to get a copy of this, and you're going to get a scan of the page that tells you what your lesson objective is, all right, how to stop and start very short lines. So that's it for part 2. And part 3, we are literally going to start with a drawing. We're going to take a piece of paper. You can just get some 8.5 by 11 paper, just copy paper. It doesn't have to be yellow like this. Not sure why this was yellow. And then we're going to put a title block in, and I might change that a little bit to make it more relevant, and I might even turn it into a landscape where we rotate the whole thing 90 degrees. I think that might look a little neater. So lesson 3, part 3 will be coming up shortly. We'll see you on the next lesson.